I'm an author. That is one of my identities. When I was young, I was obsessed with history. Okay, why? I don't know. I was just obsessed with history. Now, I'm a pragmatic guy. I mean, you know the banker profile, right? So I'm a pragmatic guy. I know that, look, being a historian is not really a wise career option. You know, it doesn't really add up to a good savings account. It's not going to afford a good lifestyle. You know, so I did the logical, practical thing. I did an MBA and I joined the exciting world of banking. Right? But life doesn't always have to be an either or. You can actually find time to chase a passion despite having a job, provided you feel strongly enough for that passion. So I continued to voraciously read history books. Not because it would help me in my career or help me get grades, but for the simple reason that I was happy with a history book in my hand. Now think about writing. An idea occurred to me around 8-9 years ago to write a book. And my family got after me that, dude, this sounds nice, write it down. And I was working in banking. We were busy destroying the world. It takes a lot of time, right? So, and it took loads of time, right? I simply didn't have the time to write a book. So being pragmatic, I did the logical thing. I stopped every time-wasting activity that I used to do. I restricted my life to only 3 things: my job, my family, and writing my books. I stopped doing everything else, watching TV, partying, even exercising. You can see the results of it. I even stopped exercising and I put aside all time-wasting activities. I still wasn't finding enough time to write. I was just, writing on Sundays. And my wife, she got a good insight that she said, look, you're wasting 2-3 hours every day on your office commute. You're driving to office and back. Mumbai has a lot of traffic, right? So she said, hire a driver. And that was probably, and this was 6 years ago, drivers were cheaper then, that was probably one of the best 5,000 rupees per month that I ever invested, right? So I started writing the book on the back seat of my car. And it took me a good 4 or 5 years and the book just emerged. Whenever I tried to control the story, the book would slow down. Whenever I surrendered and just let my soul take over, the book would start flowing in a flood. It was almost like if I approached the book with the humility of a witness, the book would come. If I ever approached it with the arrogance of a creator, it would stop. And the book was written. Right? Now, I've been told there are actually some authors out here, so it might appear to the non-authors that if the book has been written, the journey is over. But actually, not by a long shot. Okay, you still have to get it published, okay? Which is an entire story by itself. Now, so I went around to some Indian publishers, and I was told that apparently, Indian publishing is the most fractious place in the world. If you put 11 publishers in one room, you'll probably get 12 opinions. Right? But on my book, there was rare unanimity. Every single person that my book was sent to rejected it. I actually stopped counting after 20. Right? I said, look, this is not going anywhere. A few of them were kind enough to talk to me about it, why they're rejecting my book. So one of them told me that, dude, it looks like you actually want to alienate every single reader segment. I said, okay, how? He said, look, you're writing on religious philosophies, which the youth aren't really interested in, apparently. You've got your own take on religion. You're taking some liberties with the conventional view of religion, which means that the older religious people will not like it. And you're insisting on writing in modern, easy English, which means that the literati will not like it. So who in God's name are you planning to sell to? I said, look, I didn't do a market research and write the book. I just wrote the book. So, but net, it was rejected by everyone. So my wife, this lovely, supportive woman, I think she was just so stunned that a creatively challenged person like me had actually written a book, that she really wanted to support it in every way possible. So she told me that we're going to cut back on some expenses if need be, but we are going to publish the book by ourselves. Okay? Even if it means that we're going to print the book and distribute it free of cost to our families and to our family and our friends, we're going to do it. I said, okay, great, man, thanks. But to my surprise, actually, my agent, my long-suffering agent who had been sending the book to every publisher and having the door slammed on his face, he actually told me, look, I believe in your book, so I want to invest in the printing. And he asked me, would you invest in marketing? I said, yeah, sure, man. Okay. And so through this providential partnership, my book was launched in March of last year, my first book, The Immortals of Meluha. And I had absolutely no expectations. Much to my surprise, the book actually hit the bestseller charts in the first week of its launch. So what's the point of my speech? What am I trying to get across? Is it that if you follow your soul's advice, you will certainly find success? Actually, that point has been made by many people. People far wiser than me, in language far more beautiful than my own. My point is entirely different. My point is that if you listen to your soul's advice and you discover your life's purpose, success or failure actually ceases to matter. And that is the wonderful place that I got into.